The idea of learning to play with the pedals can be daunting, and many might think it's too much trouble, so why bother? But as a pianist who started playing the organ as an adult only because I was called to be a ward organist, I can tell you that learning the pedals isn't as much work as you might think. Yes, it will take some time, but when you are able to incorporate the pedals, your playing will be more refined, your ability to play a wide variety of beautiful prelude and postlude literature will increase, and believe it or not, many of the hymns become easier to play. As you begin, be sure to sit at the bench so that E flat or E of the pedal board is directly in front of you. This will center you at the pedal board, making it easier for you to reach both ends. If you always sit at the same place on the bench, then your feet will become accustomed to the position of the pedals in relation to your body, helping you to learn your way around the pedal board more quickly. Because the pedal board is laid out similar to a piano keyboard, there are gaps between the groupings of black keys. Your feet can easily locate these gaps, and that can be a great help to you in finding the pedal note you're searching for. For example, if I need to play a B flat an octave below middle C, all I need to do is locate the gap to the left side of tenor C, slide my foot until I feel the black key to the left, and suddenly I've found B flat without looking. Now I also know where B natural is, as well as C and C sharp. This works well for any of the pedal keys that are near gapped areas. Now, choose a hymn that you like that has a limited bass line of, say, 2 to 5 different notes. It's important to find something that you already enjoy listening to because you will be spending a lot of time with it. You might choose something from this list. Now that you have selected a hymn, I'll explain how to mark up the pedaling. To indicate that a toe will play a note, we use a caret, which resembles an upside-down V. If we want our right toe to play it, we indicate that by writing it above the note. If we want our left toe to play it, we make a caret below the note. To indicate that a heel should play a note, we use a capital U or a circle. Once again, if we want our right heel to take the note, we write the circle above the note. And if we want our left heel to play the note, then the circle goes below it. It is easiest to make up a pedal plan while you're seated at the organ console. I'm going to demonstrate with Hark All Ye Nations. Look at the bass line and scan far enough ahead to see where the first change in the notes will take you. Then determine which foot would be best to use on the first note, so your other foot can be ready to take over when the note changes. You are choosing not only the foot you'll use, but also whether a heel or a toe will be used. I'll mark this first B flat for my left toe. In the next measure, I will take the D with my right foot, but instead of using my toe, I can look ahead and see the next note in the bass is an E flat. I know I need to play the D with my right heel so that my right toe will be able to reach up to the E flat, so I will indicate that with my marking. The next note in the bass line is an F, which will be easy to reach by twisting my foot a little and using my right heel, so I will write in a right heel mark above that note. Then, as you can see, the next note, the B flat, will need to be played by my left foot, so I'll make a mark for my toe. Now let's stop here and try the pedaling we've created. Works pretty well, and best of all, we've just pedaled 3/4 of the hymn because this musical phrase is repeated 3 times in this hymn. Now let's figure out the pedaling for the first half of the chorus. I'll start with my left toe, and then my right toe, then right heel. Then, since I can see that my right foot is going to have to reach up to the F, I'll take the C with my left foot, while the logical choice for the B flat is my left toe. Then, as you can see, the last phrase of the chorus is the same as our opening phrase. How nice is that? Now that I've marked up my hymn, I'm going to practice playing the pedal line. You've probably noticed that I'm tying some of the repeated notes in the bass line. This hymn accompaniment can be choppy, so tying some of the notes helps create a more legato texture. I do, however, make an effort to repeat the bass note at the beginning of each measure to keep the rhythm established. I've written in the tied pattern so you can see plainly what I've done. One of the main reasons we create a pedal plan for our hymn playing is to facilitate a legato touch. For the most part, we play the soprano, alto, and tenor in a legato manner, so our bass line should match that texture, since playing one part detached while the others are legato draws attention to the detached playing. I think it's a good idea to practice a measure or two at a time. Go slowly. Challenge yourself not to look at your feet. Your feet will grow in independence if you quit lending them assistance with your eyes and make them find their own way, just as your hands did when you learned to type without looking at them. Don't forget to use the gaps to help you find your way. Once you feel confident playing the pedal line, then try putting it together with the soprano line or the soprano and alto lines together. Now move to the left hand. Remember, since you're playing the bass part in the pedals, you don't want to duplicate it in your hands. Try playing the tenor line alone. For those of you who've spent years playing the hymns on the piano, it will take a bit of practice to drop the bass line in the left hand. If I'm struggling with my tenor hand, I find it helpful to write in fingering for my left hand to give that hand a path to follow. When you've mastered the tenor line, then put it together with the soprano and alto parts. When you are able to play the different groupings of the parts together, confidently and at tempo, then you are ready to put the manuals and pedals together. Playing with your hands and feet at the same time will seem taxing and like a bit of a puzzle to be solved, but don't give up. It took me 6 months to learn my first hymn with the pedals, to the point that I was confident to play it for my congregation. But after that, the process of learning hymns became quicker and easier. And I think you'll find it exhilarating to feel your mind expand as your capabilities increase. Learning to play the organ well is a terrifically rewarding experience.